Good evening and welcome to Wisconsin Rapids as we get you ready for some Central Wisconsin Small Conference football action tonight here from Wood Trust Bank Field at Southwood County Stadium in Wisconsin Rapids. Beautiful night here in Central Wisconsin as the Assumption Royals get ready to take on the Pittsville Panthers. Once again, good evening, everyone, as the Pittsville Panthers get warmed up on the north end here as the opponents usually do here facing the Assumption Royals. Assumption on the south end of the football field as we see. Assumption coming in at 2-3 overall, 1-2 in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference. And again, we talked about it last week. We talked about it at the end of last week that the Assumption Royals were able to get through the gauntlet of Iola, Scandinavia, and Pacelli. And I flipped those around. I mean, Pacelli was first, and then they fell to Iola Scandinavia last week. A conference championship most likely on the line next Friday night in Iola for Pacelli and the Iola Scandinavia Thunderbirds. We'll have that game for you on Zaleski Sports. Assumption head coached by Jeff Sullivan. Again, they have lost 2 games in a row. They had 2 games scheduled against Pittsville last year. Both of them were canceled. Week 1, that game got canceled pretty late. That was supposed to be at Pittsville, and then a late one in the postseason, the quote-unquote postseason that we had last year, got canceled as well. Pittsville coming in at 2-4 overall, 2-1 in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference. They get that 2-4 record because of the Allman Bancroft forfeit last week, or 2 weeks ago, and then they fell to Auburndale 42-20 under head coach, or his first-year head coach, Jeremy Dewar, for the Pittsville Panthers. Last week, they took down the Rothschild Hornets 18-14. It was 18-14 at halftime. No score after or in the second half of that football game. Waylon Grimm, the quarterback, 2 of 7 last week, 16 yards, 10 rushes, 62 yards. The big back, the one to watch here for Pittsville tonight, running back Aiden Kohler. Last week in Rothschild, 37 carries, 250 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those 250 yards, he's only got 389 on the year. So 250 of those 389 coming last week against the Rothschild Hornets. Again, it's hard to believe. I was talking to our friend Randy Paul a little bit earlier. We're in week 6 of the high school football season already, ladies and gentlemen. It is hard to believe. Calendar is about to flip over to October very shortly at the end of next week. And before you know it, week 1 of the high school football playoffs, October 22nd, will be happening. And, again, just crazy to believe that it goes by quicker every single year. And this year is no exception with normalcy back in our, or a little bit of normalcy back here in our world, and football is going to be here and gone at the high school level before we know it. The state tournament happening on November 18th and 19th, and depending on how the tournament goes, how the playoffs go, we will be down there to bring you audio-only broadcasts from Camp Randall Stadium. As mentioned, the Assumption Royals falling last week 42-34 to the Iola Scandinavia Thunderbirds. Parker Prawl, the quarterback for the Iola, just 9 of 13 through the air, 81 yards, but on the ground, 26 carries, 144 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Isaiah Hoyard, 17 rushes, 126 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Iola in that victory. Jack Klatt last week for the Royals, 5 of 8, 116 yards, and that touchdown pass to Ryan Shaw. He ran the ball 8 times for 36 yards. The breakout game for the Royals is running back Reed Dillman. 10 rushes, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Again, just on 10 carries for Reed last week. He also had 3 kickoff returns, 126 yards, and a touchdown. So big game last week for Reed. We'll see if Nick Lieberg can have that breakout game here tonight for the Assumption Royals. Lieberg, 14 rushes last week, 78 yards, and a touchdown for Nick last week. Looking for a breakout game from Nick Lieberg. Upcoming for the Assumption Royals, again, they head to Rothschild next Friday. We'll, of course, hopefully have that game right here on Zaleski Sports. October 9th, they will host Webster for a homecoming matchup on Saturday. And then week 9, we'll have the Royals traveling to Loyal to take on the Greyhounds. Again, that is our pregame show. We'll turn it over to our PA announcer for our invocation, our national anthem, and our starting lineups. Again, you're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports.
Wisconsin Conference, please remember that players, coaches, and officials try their best. Let's respect their efforts. Thank you. Now, if you will please rise for the prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Father, the communities of Pittsville and Assumption, their families and friends gathered before you tonight to give praise and honor to your name. Through this event, help each of us to grow, mature, and witness your presence in our lives. We are a community of people with various backgrounds and abilities. Help each of us, Father, to do our best and to be supportive and respectful of others. Amen. And now, if you will please remain standing as we face the flag and join in the singing of the national anthem, which will be performed tonight by Molly Thomas and Silas Engwald. Outstanding job, Molly and Silas. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's Jake's doing the...
And now, football fans, the starting lineups for tonight's contest.
He's doing the PA now, too.
First, for the Pittsville Panthers. Number 5, Evan Haley. Number 7, Wyland Grimm. Number 9, Aiden Kohler. Number 20, Dylan Luther. Number 25, Alexander Combs. Number 34, Joseph Redmond. Number 51, Bradley Naive. Number 52, Marcus Getzinger. Number 54, Avery Chipman. Number 58, Connor Bellison. And number 63, Kellen Getzinger. The Panthers are coached by Jeremy Dewar. And now, Royal fans, let's get on your feet as we introduce the hometown Assumption Royals. Number 3, Ryan Shaw. Number 7, Jack Black. Number 15, Reed Dillman. Number 23, Kate Stack. Number 26, Nick Lieber. Number 50, Gunnar Kraus. Number 52, Joey Meyer. Number 55, Kemp Ross. Number 60, Manny Schultz. Number 79, Brad Jorgensen. And number 89, Alex
Nice job by Paul Jaglinski doing our PA here for us tonight, it sounded like, as we get you ready for more, some Central Wisconsin Conference football here from Wisconsin Rapids. Again, it is the Royals and the Pittsville Panthers here tonight. Again, only right here on Zaleski Sports, your exclusive video broadcast partner with the Assumption Royals here in 2021 for football, basketball, volleyball, baseball, and softball. So it will be the Assumption Royals and Pittsville Panthers, again, north to south, south to north, as you look on your screen. That is right to left. Or excuse me, left to right is north to south, right to left is south to north. And it looks like the Assumption Royals will start with the football here tonight from Wisconsin Rapids. And we will be underway. A kick from left to right for Joseph Redmond. And they will kick it right at Reed Dillman for the Assumption Royals. He's going to take it himself, try and find a hole, and he does again. Reed Dillman up the middle, breaks another tackle. He is off again. He's going to be taken down at the 40-yard line of Pittsville. Reed Dillman doing it again for the Assumption Royals. On a great kick return again for Reed last week. Again, three kickoff returns for 126 yards and a big touchdown. So a good start for the Assumption Royals here tonight. Could have asked for a much better start. Great field position. Ball at the 41-yard line of Pittsville. Working right to left as you watch on your home screen here tonight. Jack Klatt, again, we won't call out the formation every time. It's the same exact every one. As Dillman's going to be in motion, going to hand it up to Lieberg up the middle. He's going to fall forward near the 35, and that is where they'll put him. Second down and 4 yards to go for Nick Lieberg, or for the Assumption Royals. A gain of 6 on the play for Lieberg. Expecting a big game out of Nick tonight. Again, he's kind of off to a slow-ish start. Again, didn't play in that game against Pacelli. Got kicked out of the Wild Rose game. Didn't play against Pacelli. Klatt's going to be rolling out to his right, and then the clock stops, or the officials stop at 11:20 in the first, and it's going to be a false start on the Assumption Royals. Second down, and they're going to back them up 5 yards. Second down and 9 coming up for Assumption. That's one thing that they had last week. Very clean game for both sides last week. Didn't have that one big penalty to push them back, and we'll see what they can do here. Second down and long for Assumption. Ball at the Pittsville 40-yard line. Shaw lined up to the near side. Dillman, Klatt, and Reed is in motion. They're going to pitch it out to Reed Dillman, try and get the corner. He's patient again. Gets that outside corner along the far sideline. Going to be pushed out of bounds there. It's going to be a gain. It's going to be close. That line guy threw down the stick. It's going to be third down and a yard to go. Third down and 1 coming up for the Assumption Royals. Again, after a great kickoff return by Reed Dillman. 11:01 to go in the first quarter and counting, or not counting, he ran out of bounds. So third and a yard. Shaw lined up to the near side. Dillman, Stats, and Lieberg, the three backs, with Alex Sullivan lined up as a tight end to the far side. Klatt back under center. Going to hand it up to Lieberg. He's going to fall forward for a first down past the 30-yard line. He's going to gain 2, needed 1, and a first down for the Royals. Good opening possession. Again, it was second down and 9. Got a nice run by Reed Dillman. Wouldn't expect much else from Reed. And was able to pick up a first down with a big body and Nick Lieberg. First down for the Royals. And we'll be back with the Royals on Tuesday next week, they will host the Auburndale Eagles in girls volleyball. In motion goes Stats that time. Rolling out to his left is Klatt. Back to pass has Shaw, and he's going to drop it through his hands at the 5-yard line. In and out of his hands, Ryan Shaw, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10 coming up. That was a nice pass. Nice route, just went through his hands, and 2nd down coming up. Took a shot as soon as he threw it to Jack Klatt. 2nd down and 10 for the Royals. 10:29 to go in the first quarter. Again, this might be a game to show off Jack's arm, but we'll see, as they were doing a lot of passing during warm-ups today. 2nd down and 10. Dillman in motion, going to hand it up to Lieberg up the middle. He's going to fight for it. Ball's on the ground. It looks like Reed Dillman, the right place, right time for the Royals. Got stripped out of the hands of Nick Lieberg. And it's going to be 3rd down and long coming up for the Assumption Royals. Again, lucky for Assumption that Reed was there. 3rd and 11 now for the Royals. Ball between the 30 and 31-yard line. Less than 10 minutes to go. Just over 2 minutes gone by first quarter. Again, packing everybody in the box. 3rd and 11. In motion goes Stats. Klatt's going to let it go, and it's going to be caught there at the 20-yard line. Are they going to say it's intercepted? Ryan Shaw comes away with it at the 19, and it should be a 1st down for the Royals. Fought for and caught by Ryan Shaw. 1st down Royals inside the 20-yard line. Not a lot of cheering on that play, but Shaw fought for it and ripped it out of the hands of his defender. And a big 1st down for the Assumption Royals inside the Draxler Transport red zone. Shaw again lined up to the near side. 3 backs, 1 tight end. Klatt back under center. 9:10 to go, first quarter and counting. In motion goes Stats. Hands up to Lieberg up the middle. He's going to fight all the way inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. 2nd down coming up. Oh, they'll give him the 14. It comes up limping just a little bit. 2nd down and about 5 with 8:50 to go. They will put it at the 13, 2nd and 4. Shaw, the receiver to the near side. Again, sticking with that same formation. Same one every time. Dillman in motion. Klatt's going to roll out to his right. Fake the pitch. Jumps inside and walks into the end zone. Jack Klatt from 13 yards out. And the Royals take an early lead here in the first quarter. A perfect read by Jack Klatt as the defender was going at Dillman on the read option, or on the option play. And Klatt jumped inside and walked into the end zone for the 13-yard touchdown. Now Mason Kubis attempting the point after. Good snap, good hold. It is up, and it is good. 8:33 to go. First quarter, the Assumption Royals 7 and the Pittsville Panthers nothing. You're watching Assumption Royal football right here on Zaleski Sports.
Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals, a great drive helped out by a beautiful catch by Ryan Shaw and a lucky bounce for the Royals on early on in that drive where Reed Dillman was at the right place at the right time on the fumble by Nick Lieberg, and he was able to take advantage, and the Royals were able to take advantage in a Jack Klatt 13-yard touchdown scamper to put the Royals up 7-0 on the Mason Kubis point after touchdown. So Alex Sullivan will do the kicking right in the middle of the 40-yard line from right to left as you watch on your screen here tonight. Again, we do have other games going on. One concluded. I believe Columbus Catholic knocked off Amherst in boys soccer. They were up 3-0 in the second half of that game. We got volleyball going on as well, from right to left, and it is off, and it is high arcing kick. It's going to be taken at about the 26-yard line. Jumps to the outside. He runs over a guy, and Pittsville will start at the 34-yard line. Return there by Marcus Getzinger. Now Waylon Grimm and company see what they can do here today. Aiden Kohler is the back to watch. 389 yards on the season, 250 last week in their 18-14 win over Rosholt. Grimm will be under center, split backs behind him, two receivers set. And Grimm's going to hand it off to Kohler again, and Joey Moyer in there for the tackle. A nice first down gain for Pittsville. Aiden Kohler will get a large portion of the carries here tonight. He had 37 last week, and on the year 64 on the year for Aiden Kohler. In the backfield again, split backs. Both these teams don't really change up their formations much. Hand up right up the middle, and it got the Royals to bite, and a big first down for Pittsville. That's Dylan Luther on the carry. And a first down for Pittsville. 1st and 10 at the Pittsville 48-yard line. Clock runs, 7:50 to go first quarter. Again, Pittsville doesn't throw a lot. I guess Grimm does. 31 of 83. He's going to hand it up to Kohler off the left side. He's going to be taken down after another nice gain by Aiden, and it's second down coming up for Pittsville. They're going to say Luther on the carry. Pittsville coming up yet on the year. Obviously, this game here against Assumption. They will host Loyal next week. They are at Wild Rose in Week 8. And then the big one at the end of the year, they will host Iola Scandinavia to end the season. As mentioned, a most likely conference championship game going on in Iola next week. In the backfield, Aiden Kohler taken down. A long read by Grimm, and Joey Moyer there on the tackle. A loss on the carry, and it's 3rd down and 9 coming up. Good read there by Joey Moyer, and Waylon Grimm just took way too long to get the read out. Stuck it in the gut of Aiden Kohler for too long, and Joey Moyer was there to wrap him up and take him down. Luther, two receivers near side. Grimm in the shotgun. Back to pass, rolling out to his right, looking for a receiver. Sidearms it, intercepted Nick Lieberg. And he is going to get the interception, and the Royals get the ball right back. Nick Lieberg read it perfectly. And an interception for the Royals on a 3rd and 9, and Assumption will have it in again. Great field position here on their second drive of the game. Grimm rolled out to his right. Two receivers were out there, kind of sidearmed it, and found the hands of Nick Lieberg. 1st and 10 for Assumption. They start the drive at the 38-yard line. Back to pass is Klatt looking for Shaw across the middle, and it is going to be caught, and Ryan Shaw walks into the end zone. Touchdown Royals. 13-0 Assumption. Very similar to the touchdown that Ryan had last week against Iola Scandinavia. Post route across the middle. And Klatt put it right on his numbers for the touchdown. 6:09 to go in the first quarter. Assumption up 13-0. High snap. Kubis gets it down, and it is going to be wide left. But the Royals jump out quickly after the turnover. One play, 38 yards and a touchdown. With 6:09 to go in the first quarter, the Assumption Royals 13, Pittsville Panthers nothing. You're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports. From first contact at Dental Clinic of Marshfield, their dentists are committed to your individual attention and strive to provide personalized oral health care. They work hard to create the ultimate stress-free and comfortable dental experience. It is their mission to educate and provide the patients with the best dental care in Central Wisconsin. Whether you're looking for information on implants, teeth whitening, crowns, orthodontics, dentures, or any dental service, Dental Clinic of Marshfield has it for you. You can book your appointment online at dentalclinicofmarshfield.com or give them a call at one of their 3 locations in Marshfield, Stratford, or Neillsville today. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Solaris. With so much of our lives riding on the internet these days, choosing a provider you know and trust has become more important than ever. Solaris Fiber Network is the fastest technology available. It's more reliable than cable internet and provides equal upload and download speeds. Solaris has been keeping Central Wisconsin connected for over 125 years, and it has the speeds you need. Call, stop in, or visit Solaris.net today. Again, Assumption jumping all over Pittsville after that turnover. Went for the big play as you usually would after a turnover, and Jack Klatt to Ryan Shaw. Again, very, very similar to the touchdown that Ryan had last week against Iowa Scandinavia. Alex Sullivan back to kick it again, taking his good old time to get a breather and then kick it away as Sullivan gets the okay, and they will kick it away from right to left. A high arcing end-over-end kick going to be taken at about the 15-yard line, far side, far hash mark. Get to the outside. There goes Kohler along the sideline. He's going to be taken out of bounds at about the 50-yard line, and Aiden Kohler with the speed showing it off on that kickoff return, and great field position to start here for the Pittsville Panthers. Again, we will have Assumption Royal Volleyball next Tuesday as they host Auburndale, and then we will have Assumption and Pittsville Volleyball from Pittsville next Thursday night right here on Zaleski Sports. We got a whole bunch of games next week, so stay tuned to watch your favorite team right here on the network. Grimm back under center. Split backs behind him, Luther and Kohler, and tracks him to the outside. Kohler steps through. Another nice gain by Aiden Kohler inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Again, get that lead blocker out there, which has been Dylan Luther. Mason Kubis on the tackle, but not after a gain of 12 inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Again, Pittsville was looking good on that last drive. They got into a 3rd and long, and Waylon Grimm had to throw it and threw it into the hands of Nick Lieberg. Grimm under center again, going to hand it off. He's going to be met in the backfield and taken down. A loss of 1.5 yards, and another nice job of the defense for Assumption. Kate Stats, it looked like, in there with Kemp Ross and the rest of the Royals. 2nd and 11 coming up with 5:10 to go in the first quarter. Again, Assumption has started both of their possessions inside of Pittsville territory and have looked good so far. Under center is Grimm, 2nd down and 11. Then the entire line of Assumption jumped off sides. The entire line. Going to put them up 5 yards, 2nd down and manageable now coming up. It wasn't just one guy jumping off sides. It was a whole offensive line. And now the side official, the line judge on the Pittsville side, comes in to discuss. And now they're going to call it a false start on Pittsville. So a huge break for the Royals. as the Royals had jumped off sides, and then the side judge, the side official on the Pittsville side, came in and overturned him with a false start. That's a big break for the Royals. 4:45 to go, first quarter. Grimm's going to pitch it out to Kohler along the far side. Have a lot of room. He's going to be upended there near the 40-yard line. It looks like maybe Ryan Shaw or Nick Lieberg on the tackle. Third down and long coming up again for the Pittsville Panthers. Pittsville coming in. A loss to Augusta in week 1, 28-0. They lost to Cadott in week 2, 6-0 in overtime. They lost to Pacelli 39-16. They beat Allman Bancroft via the forfeit, lost to Auburndale 42-20, and then beat Rochelle last week 18-14. They're going to hand it up the middle. Kohler's got room. He breaks through along the far sideline, and he breaks another tackle inside the 15-yard line. On the delayed handoff, and a big first down gainer. Aiden Kohler puts the Panthers inside the 15-yard line. Jorgensen checks back in for the Royals after that debacle of a 3rd down and 12 play. I don't think the Royals had 11 guys on the field. Jorgensen went on, nobody else came off. That's a huge break for Pittsville and a big first down. May the Royals pay. Grimm in the shotgun, and he's going to keep it himself, try to bounce to the outside, and Assumption will have nothing of that. And maybe a loss of it half an inch. Second down coming up. Kate Stats with the tackle. Second and about 10 at the 13 or 14-yard line. Best opportunity here for the Panthers. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Inside the Assumption 15-yard line. And he's going to keep it himself. Ball's on the ground, and the Assumption Royals recover. A turnover on the handoff. And the Assumption Royals with their second takeaway here in the first quarter. A huge break for Assumption defensively. Pittsville was running it down their throats on this drive, and the pressure up the middle from Assumption causing Grimm to hold on to it for just a second and then lost it on the exchange. 1st and 10 Assumption, worst starting field position, but they have it back, not giving up a point. Klatt back under center. Going to hand it up to Lieberg, and he's going to go nowhere, maybe a yard. Well, they'll give him 2. Or 3 on the play. Second down coming up, ball at the 20-yard line. Get an interception on the first possession, a fumble on the second one. Jack Klatt gets the play from the sidelines. Alex Sullivan now lined up to the near side as the tight end, usually lined up opposite of Ryan Shaw. Klatt going to hand it up the middle again, and breaking a tackle and far side along the far numbers. I believe that was Nick Lieberg breaking free. And a big first down for Nick at the 40-yard line with 2:14 to go. Again, expect a big game here from Nick. He had a big gainer on their first drive, had the interception. A nice gain there for about 20 yards. 2:05 to go first quarter. All Assumption here in the first 10 minutes so far. Klatt back under center. Pressure is immediate. Klatt has it, pitches it out. Near side, that's Kate Stats. He runs over a defender, falling past the 45 to about the 46-yard line. A play that looked like a loss, gained 6, and it's second down coming up for the Royals at the Assumption 46-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play. And we'll try and get you some scores, other scores from around the Selesky Sports Network. We got Amherst, Iowa Scandinavia Volleyball, Columbus Catholic Owen Withy Volleyball, and Pacelli and Pittsville Volleyball over at Pacelli. Klatt under center, going to hand it up to Lieberg. No, Klatt's going to keep it himself, trying to get the first down. He's going to fall forward. He's going to just get it, maybe. See if they give it to him. See what our white hat comes in, and they will give him the first down just past the 50-yard line, right on midfield. Again, far hash marks, 1:15 remaining and counting here in the first quarter. And again, it has been all Royals here tonight through the first, which will be soon, 12 minutes. Klatt back under center. And quick pass to Shaw, near side, near hash. He cuts back inside instead of going outside. He gains 5 on the play. And it's going to be second down and about 5 with 45 seconds to go first quarter. And Royals have played very, very well so far here through the first 12 or 11 and a half minutes now, closing in on 12 minutes as we get to the quarter break very soon. Shaw lined up to the far side. 3 backs, Sullivan the tight end. Dillman in motion, pitches out to Reed. A lot of green. Can Assumption score before the quarter break? And they do not, but another first down for Assumption on the pitch out to Reed Dillman, and that should take us to the end of the first quarter. 2 touchdowns for Assumption, 2 turnovers, 2 takeaways for the Assumption Royals as well. We have played 12 minutes here from Wood Trust Bank Field at Southwood County Stadium here in Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption 13 and the Pittsville Panthers nothing. You're watching Assumption Royal football right here on Zaleski Sports.
Bauer & Fine Business Technologies is your complete office technology solution. For 60 years, Bauer & Fine Business Technologies has been serving school districts, municipalities, counties, religious organizations, and businesses in Wisconsin and beyond. Visit b-bt.com and let Bauer & Fine Business Technologies be your complete office technology solution. That's b-bt.com. Chili Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chili, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement.
If your Assumption, you can't ask for a much better start offensively, scoring 2 touchdowns on your 2 drives and getting 2 takeaways in the process as well. An interception from Nick Lieberg on Pittsville's opening drive, and then a fumble deep inside your own territory, and now you're taking full advantage, marching down the field again here. So what do they give them? First down right before the quarter break. So see what Jack Klatt and company will do here. As up the middle and read it like a book, and Pittsville right through the A-gap and had Klatt, had Lieberg, and nowhere to go for the Assumption Royals. They only lose a yard in forward progress, but big loss. Nice defensive job there for Pittsville. Volleyball match in Amherst just about to get underway. Amherst and Iola Scandinavia. See what Columbus Catholic and Owen Withey. Columbus Catholic, one of the best, one of the top volleyball teams that I've seen this year. Stratford swept Auburndale on Tuesday in Merriwood South action. That was good, exciting Jim. Rolling out to his left is Klatt. Has him open again and diving incomplete. Ryan Shaw looked like he got held up just a bit on his release. And third down and long coming up. 11:10 to go in the first half now. Big match next week for Columbus Catholic on the volleyball side. They will head to Neelsville for a big Clover Belt Conference matchup next Tuesday. Jason Zaleski will have the call of that one for you next week. 3rd down and 11 for the Assumption Royals, working from left to right. Going to hand it up to Lieberg up the middle. He's got a lot of space. Muscles his way, breaks a couple tackles, falling near the 20-yard line, and a big first down for Nick Lieberg. A huge hole off the left guard. A 3rd and 11 gainer. That was much like what Pittsville did in about the same area. It was 3rd and 12, and they picked up probably, 20, 25 yards from Aiden Kohler and then fumbled 2 plays after that. So another nice big gainer from Nick Lieberg, and the Royals have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line with 10:45 to go in the first half. Klatt back under center, receiver Shaw to the far side. And Pittsville showing a lot of motion, and Lieberg up the middle will go nowhere on the carry. Again, we hear some of the Assumption coaches saying that the interior lineman jumped off sides. He may not have, but if he didn't, that's one thing as a coach from Pittsville that you want to look at, because if you have a lineman that jumps and he doesn't jump off sides, that means he's playing too far off the line, and that's not usually a recipe for success. 2nd down and 9, a gain of a yard for Lieberg. Back to pass, Klatt again, rolling out to his right. Has his receiver, no, it's tipped and intercepted. He was trying to pass it up to Cade Stats. It got tipped and intercepted by Pittsville. Easton Damon with the interception. Klatt's first interception on the year. And 3 turnovers in this first half so far tonight from Wisconsin Rapids. Nice job defensively holding the line for Pittsville. Assumption has come out throwing the ball more than expected here tonight. Than I expected anyway. Grimm, shotgun, going to hand it off to Kohler. He's going to be wrapped up and then breaks the tackle. Going to fall past the 30-yard line, about the 32. And again, a play that looks like it was going to be a loss, and there's a Pittsville Panther on the field. And we will take an injury timeout here from Wisconsin Rapids. 13-0 Assumption, 9:40 to go first half. We'll be back to Wisconsin Rapids after this. You're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports.
Little Sprouts is now open in Rudolph with the same great child care you know about in Auburndale. Here's Brooke Sievers to tell us about it.
The community here in Rudolph has been extremely welcoming, and we're excited to serve here just like we do up in Auburndale. Part of the process is to help out the school districts and to help the children stay, their 4K children to stay close and get services right here. We serve here in Rudolph 1-year-olds up until 12-year-olds, and up in Auburndale we serve 6 weeks old until 12-year-olds.
Our Auburndale pea pods, wiggle worms, busy bees, and fireflies welcome the Rudolph sweet potatoes, lovely ladybugs, and beautiful butterflies. Contact Little Sprouts Learning Garden on Facebook today.
Really got to understand what a nurse is. Do they focus on you? You know, do they make sure that you're comfortable? And, you know, that's what Shai has. It's the connection that he has, you know, my best interest in mind, always.
Why wait another day? Let's take the next step together towards a better life.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids, as Avery Chipman was able to walk off under his own power. Good to see that. Slowly and gingerly, but able to get up under his own power and walk off the field, stage left. So for 2nd down and about 6 yards to go for Pittsville. Grimm back under center. And he's going to pitch it out to the far side. Kohler trying to get out there. A big burst of speed. He's going to fall forward for another first down for Pittsville. Reminds me a lot of Ray Dillman. Gets that extra burst of speed. Kohler, a senior for the Pittsville Panthers. And it reminds me a lot of Reed Dillman. Turns that corner, gets that extra burst of speed, and then it's off to the races. Luckily there for Assumption, able to bring him down before that happened. And run up the middle again. He's going to go nowhere. Swallowed up by the Assumption defensive line. In there for Assumption, Alex Sullivan, Kate Stats, and company for the Royals. No gain, no loss on the play for Pittsville. 9 minutes to go, second quarter. As the Assumption Royals trying to break a 2-game losing streak. Pittsville trying to get a 2-game winning streak going here. It'd be a huge confidence booster for Pittsville. In motion, going to hand it up the middle again. And he's going to be taken down there, stonewalled, stood up and brought down. Looks like Kemp Ross may be on the tackle. Third down and about 8 now for Pittsville. Get on this beautiful day, beautiful Thursday night here in central Wisconsin. Have another whole slate of games for you tomorrow. Check out ZalewskiSports.com. Head over to the weekly schedule. 8 more games for you tomorrow night around central Wisconsin and western Wisconsin. Grimm. And he's going to be chased down looking for his receiver, and nobody there for Pittsville. Nice pressure there put on by the Assumption Royals as they were in Grimm's face immediately. And the pressure put on and nowhere for Waylon Grimm to go. In punt formation and able to get it away. Nobody back there. Now looks like Reed standing at his own 20-yard line. He'll take a Pittsville roll, and that is where the Assumption Royals will take over their next possession, 1st and 10. We'll see what kind of confidence Jack Klatt has coming out of that after that interception. But a lot of confidence in our friends over at Fleet Farm. Fleet Farm Community Days are going on now. Donate non-perishable food or personal care items at your local Fleet Farm store and get a coupon for $10 off a $75 purchase. Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955. Closest one we have around here off of Highway 10 in Stevens Point. Klatt up the middle, going to hand it up to Lieberg. Breaks a couple tackles, falls past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Speaking of how fast this football season is going, before you know it, and don't want to put any bad thoughts in people's minds, but it's usually mid-October, late October, when the and we'll probably have a sponsor read for it, but the Fleet Farm Toyland will be opening probably in the beginning of November. Late October. The catalog usually comes out in October. And Dillman near side and gets by a defender, and we'll see if they can track him down. He cuts back to the middle of the field, all the way inside the 30, breaks a tackle. Reed Dillman! 79 yards for Reed Dillman. And the Royals lead 19-0. Again, faked the pitch to Kate Stats. Had Dillman on the counter and was able to take it to the house. Came near side, had about 5 Panthers near him, and then cut back to the middle, broke a tackle, and Pittsville tried for the shoestring tackle, and Reed made him pay. And Reed Dillman, like he did last week, this time 79 yards to the end zone. Klatt back under center. And he's going to keep it, pitch out near side, and the ball is on the ground. And Reed Dillman will just step out of bounds on the fumble. 7:05 to go in the first half. Assumption 19 and the Pittsville Panthers nothing. You're watching Assumption Royal Football on Zaleski Sports.
R&R Flooring in Spencer is your place for the best in innovation and lowest pricing for your flooring project. New or remodel, tile, carpet, hardwood, ceramic, cork, you name it, R&R Flooring is ready for you today. R&R Flooring supports area programs like the broadcast you're watching and also supports area suppliers so you get great quality and pricing that fits your budget. Go to R&R Flooring today to see their showroom of flooring, furniture, mattresses, and custom-built showers. R&R Flooring in Spencer.
Reed Dillman, 79 yards to the house, and the Assumption Royals take a 19-0 lead nearly halfway through the second quarter here from Wood Trust Bank Field at Southwood County Stadium in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, had some score updates for you. Columbus Catholic was up 1-0. Columbus Catholic was up 1-0 over Owen Withee. If you want to check out an awesome scene and have a couple of devices available, head over to Amherst. Head over to Amherst Falcons Athletics. The student section is packed. Not crosstown, I guess. Iola's not really across town, but a rivalry nonetheless. Amherst and Iola Scandinavia. A quick kick up the middle. Ball still loose, and Pittsville is able to fall on it. Tried the sneak attack out of the huddle and didn't spike it into the ground enough, and Pittsville is able to fall on top of it. 1st and 10 coming up for the Panthers. Assumption trying to get as many possessions as they can here, and almost worked out in their favor again. 1st and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Ball at the 40-yard line. 7:04 to go. Only a second ticked off the clock. Two receivers now, one near, one far, split backs, and the whistle blows. And I believe equipment malfunction, unless our official was not quite ready. And going to pitch out. Ball's on the ground again in the backfield to see if Assumption falls on it. Kemp Ross right there. A bad pitch from Grimm to Kohler. Kohler comes up limping, and Assumption will have the ball right back. Third takeaway for Assumption defensively here, and we're not quite halfway through this second quarter. Kemp Ross right there. There was a whole host of Royals there. And for the third time already, Assumption starting their possession inside Pittsville territory. They scored on the first two. Jack Klatt threw an interception on their third possession, and then Reed Dillman went 79 yards for the touchdown. So 4 turnovers already in this game, 3 for Pittsville, 1 for Assumption. Ball at the 28-yard line. Handed up to Lieberg. He's going to break a tackle. Still on his feet. Spins away near the 20-yard line. They'll give him the 21. And it is second down coming up for Assumption. Again, Royals had a lot of momentum last week. They lost by 8 to Iola Scandinavia. But to be able to put up a fight like that to the Thunderbirds must have given the Royals a lot of confidence as they have come out here and have looked very, very good through the first nearly 18 minutes of this game. We're not halfway through the second quarter yet. Royals up 19-0, working from north to south, left to right on your screen. Klatt back under center. Shaw, the receiver. Dillman in motion. Back to pass again. Rolling out to his right. Klatt across the middle. Has a receiver wide open. Touchdown, Cade Stats. 21 yards. Cade Stats wide open in the end zone. Nice job by Jack Klatt to take his time and let Stats get to the end zone. And he did, and he was wide open. And sometimes those are the hardest ones to catch when you're that wide open, but Stats hauled it in for the 21-yard touchdown. Mason Kubas now attempting the PAT. Good snap, good hold. Pressure's on, and it is blocked. And the PAT is no good. 6:06 to go. First half. Assumption 25. And the Pittsville Panthers, nothing. You're watching Assumption Royal Football on Zaleski Sports.
Fleet Farm has everything you need for every season of life. From tending the vegetable garden season to planting 100 acres of crops season. Fleet Farm is your one-stop shop. Whether it's strawberry jam season, cook your walleye season, or his first set of wheels season. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
H&S Manufacturing in Marshfield is hiring. If you're a hardworking individual, then we need you. Do you want a solid company that offers top wages along with a very generous benefits package? Then check out our open positions at H&S. Our benefits include health, dental, life, and disability, plus 401k, cash bonuses, a $2 shift bonus, and a substantial vacation plan that has you earning vacation from your very first day. We're looking for welders, painters, and assemblers for both first and second shift. To apply online, Google us at H&S Manufacturing or log on to hsmfgco.com. Kate Stats from 21 yards out, and the Royals lead 25-0. Again, scoring off of turnovers. We'll talk to Coach Sullivan about that after the game. Taking advantage of turnovers and putting points on the board after turnovers. And really forcing those turnovers. That was an unforced turnover on Pittsville, but the other two, Assumption's defense, have come through. Sullivan, nice high arcing end over end kick. The ball's on the ground again. Now it's going to be picked up far side and going to be taken down there inside the 20-yard line. Something, I believe, maybe a flag? I don't think so. There's a flag on the play. Thought I saw something fly into the air. And it's going to be a hold on Pittsville. So, from bad to worse for the Panthers. They will start on the far hash marks. See where the infraction was. I believe around, was that the 26-yard line? So, first and 10. They'll put it at the 13-yard line. So, phenomenal start here for Assumption. They lead 25-0. They blew out Wild Rose earlier this year. Expected a big game from Assumption, but maybe not this. The ball, again, bobbled by Grimm this time, and he's going to be taken down inside the 5-yard line. The timing of that play all thrown off after it went right through Grimm's hands. And Kemp Ross was right there for the Royals. It's going to be second down and about a mile at the 5-yard line. Long way to go now for Pittsville. Again, appreciate everyone tuning in tonight right here on Zaleski Sports. Let us know where you're watching from if you have that capability. If you're watching on a mobile device or a laptop, let us know where you're watching from. Always appreciate people tuning in. Now Kohler in the end zone. It's going to be a safety. The Royals with 2 free points. Are they going to give it to him? And it is a safety for the Royals. And Ross there with the tackle. Back-to-back big. 3 plays in a row, actually, for Kemp, going back to that fumble recovery. And Aiden Kohler was in the end zone. Kemp Ross came from behind and got the tackle in the end zone. 27-0 Royals, and they will get the ball right back as they will, again, this game's got everything. 79-yard touchdown, a wide-open Cade Stats in the end zone, a safety, 3 turnovers for Pittsville, 1 for Assumption. If you're Assumption, you can't ask for much more than this. You have played outstanding. There was that one drive that Pittsville had that they fumbled it deep inside your own territory. And the only blemish, I guess, tonight has been their point after touchdowns and the 1 turnover. Other than that, it has been a phenomenal showing here for Assumption. through the first quarter and a half. They lead 27-0. We will have highlights of this game later on tonight on Facebook. At Selesky Sports Selesky Sports Wisconsin Rapids on Facebook later on tonight. So a free kick from the 20-yard line. As Kate Stats and Ray Dillman stand at about their, I guess they'll let them tee it up. Usually it's a punt, but maybe in high school they let them tee it up. From right to left. And it will be a line drive kick. And it's going to be right to Cade Stats. Nice catch there by Cade. Far sideline. He's got a head of steam. He's going to be taken down near the 50-yard line. But again, Assumption with phenomenal starting field position. At the, they'll put him right at midfield at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up for the Royals as they lead 27-0. They've gotten big plays offensively, big plays defensively. Now just waiting for that special team score, which Reed almost had to start the game. Offensive scored, defensive scored. Now just awaiting that special team score as well, which they might not have the possibility of doing. If Pittsville doesn't score, run up the middle, a gain of a couple. Another nice gain there by maybe Nick Leeberg. And another nice gain by Nick there, a gain of about 4. Pittsville will start the second half with the football. Assumption looking to put a couple more points on the board. 27-0 Assumption. They'll be at Rochelle next week. Again, after they got through that gauntlet of Pacelli and Iola Scandinavia, I don't want to say it's smooth sailing, obviously, but they have the possibility of winning out. Klatt going to roll out to his right, pitch it out to Dillman near side. He's going to stiff arm a defender. He's going to be stood up and driven back. And a big hit put on by Pittsville Marcus Getzinger on the tackle. 3rd down coming up for Assumption after the safety and free kick. Assumption started this possession at the 50-yard line. And now they got the opportunity. They've converted a couple times on big 3rd downs. 3:50 to go here in the second quarter. Ryan Shaw lines up. And now an offset I formation. Try to get him to jump off sides and going to hand it up the middle. Breaks a couple tackles. Still getting those feet moving. A flag comes in late at about the 41-yard line. See what the flag is, and it's going to be a block in the back on Assumption. So Pittsville most likely, and they will push him back. 3:32 to go, so push him about at the infraction point. It'll be 3rd down and about 11 at the now 49-yard line of Pittsville, or of Assumption, I should say. Assumption has, again, converted on a couple of long 3rd downs. We'll see what they can do here. Big 3rd down coming up. Assumption with all the momentum here with 3:15 to go in the first quarter, or first half, I should say. Klatt's going to roll out to his left, passing situation. Still looking, has his receiver along the sideline, overthrows him. 4th down coming up. And now 4th down coming up for Assumption. Again, that's one of those plays, if you're Coach Sullivan, you might go back to the run. I mean, gain 5, 6, or 7 yards and then have a manageable 4th down. But Mason Kubis comes in. That means Cade Stats will be back to punt for the Royals. Nobody back to return for Pittsville. As Cade Stats stands at his own 36-yard line. A lot of pressure, good punt. Again, nobody back there to return it. A great punt by Cade Stats. That one's going to be down to inside the 10 at the 11-yard line. Nice job by Cade Stats. Again, kind of peculiar, I guess. Peculiar? Word of the day. That nobody was back there to return the punt. 2:55 to go, first half here from Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption leads 27-0. Again, a couple of big touchdown drives and a safety. They were up 25-0. Then Kemp Ross was able to tackle Aiden Kohler in the end zone and pick up the safety on the last drive. A nice job by Pittsville's defense. Ross, as Grimm with a pass across the middle. It's caught, broke a tackle, and dragging defenders all the way past the 30-yard line. Kemp Ross came in on a blitz off the left side, off the right side for the defense, and a great pitch and catch and a couple of broken tackles, and Pittsville with a big gainer there on first down. Ball to the 32-yard line of the Panthers. 2:40 to go, first half. Pittsville trying to get momentum before halftime. They'll start the second half with the football. Again, pressure immediately, and Grimm is going to be taken down. Joey Moyer and Kemp Ross back there for the Royals. Again, Pittsville looking to throw. They are taking a lot of time, and Assumption is bringing more defenders than Pittsville has blockers. And that time, Kemp Ross came off the left side of the defense line, right side of offense, and Joey Moyer ran free and took down Waylon Grimm on the sack. Moyer just kind of bodied him, and then Kemp Ross came in to finish the deal. Second down and 19. And it's going to be a false start on Pittsville. Had the Assumption Royals jumping again, but Cody Gonzalez is going to pick up the infraction on the false start. As Alex Sullivan jumped, and Manny Schultz will quickly take his spot. Luckily for Alec that it was a false start on Pittsville. 1:40 to go, first half, 27-0 Assumption. Grimm's going to keep it himself. He's going to be upended there near the 20-yard line. And I believe Pittsville's just going to be happy with letting the clock run here for the last 80 seconds. See if Coach Sullivan wants to use timeouts. No team has used a timeout in this first half. And I don't think that Coach Sullivan will use a timeout. Obviously not at this point. 65 seconds left, and a lot of play clock has run off. 3 receivers set, 2 near, 1 far. Grimm in the shotgun with Kohler. And pressure is on immediately as Grimm on the counter. The ball's on the ground again! And Pittsville somehow fell on top of it. Timeout called by Assumption with 46 seconds to go, as they will have the ball with 2 timeouts left. We'll see how far Pittsville can punt it. We'll be back with the last 46 seconds. You're watching Assumption Royal Football on Zaleski Sports.
Mid-State Technical College. Career skills first. Learn online or with small in-person class sizes and collaborative learning environments. Develop hands-on skills for your degree or the workforce. Earn a guaranteed transfer to over 20 four-year colleges and universities. Or get in, get out, and get working. And save money while you reach your goal. Make career skills your first choice at Mid-State Technical College. Get started at mstc.edu.
Assumption's defense has been up to the task here today against this Pittsville offense. Pittsville only scores 11 points a game. Assumption gives up nearly 29 points a game. But through this first half, it has been a dominant performance from the Assumption Royals through the first 24 minutes. Pressure is on, and Burkhauser almost got there. Dillman will watch this one bounce. It's still rolling. That's a bad decision by Reed Dillman. And they blew it dead before Mason Kubas got to it. And it's going to be first down for Assumption. A bad decision by Mason Kubas and Reed Dillman, as Kubas came in and touched the ball, but the official had called it dead before it was touched by Kubas. That could have been a disaster of a turn of events for Assumption. 33 seconds to go. 13 seconds went off the clock. Again, that was not a smart move, I guess, by Reed Dillman. He let it bounce, let it roll. Two timeouts left for Assumption. They've got 61 yards to go. Klatt back to pass. Pressure's on. Flag most likely coming in. And there will not be. Looked like there was a hold on the left end. Maybe second down coming up. Oh, there is a flag. It's got to be a hold on the left tackle. I believe Manny Schultz or Alex Sullivan as the tight end. That'd be first down and a mile coming up if they take the penalty. No indication yet. There we go. A hold on Assumption. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul. That happened at about the 38-yard line, and they'll probably give Coach Sullivan very few options here with 2 timeouts left with 27 seconds to go, and now 74 yards to get those yards, to get a touchdown. Shaw, the receiver to the far side. Let's see if Jack Klatt will just take a knee and run this clock out. Dillman in motion, back to pass. He is not. Klatt still looking and breaks the tackle. Going to be upended there, still on his feet. Going to be taken down at about the 15-yard line, and that will take us to the end of the first half. Assumption dominant through the first 24 minutes here from Wisconsin Rapids. And the Pittsville Panthers looking for answers as we go to halftime. We have played 24 minutes. The Assumption Royals lead 27-0. You're watching Assumption Royal Football on Selesky Sports. We'll be back with half number 2 right after this.
With the WIAA's Kate Peterson-Abiad to talk about officiating and the state of officiating in Wisconsin. Kate, let's dig into it right away. There has been talk about a coming shortage of officials in our state for a long time, and it really seemed to pick up, and along with the popularity of social media. But about 5 years ago, we started seeing these regular updates from the WIAA social media feeds, and then we got one that's actually showing on the screen now back on August 27th that holy cats, it happened. We're short by about 40%, and boy, we really need some help. So tell us about the last 4 to 5 years, and knowing this was coming, what are things that the WIAA did that maybe didn't work, but what are things that happened that kind of have led to this point, and fixes that you have tried to apply?
Sure. First of all, I've just gotten into this new role with the WIAA with officials. So I'm really doing a lot of research and seeing what the numbers have been in the past, and how we were impacted and when that all started. So kind of give you a little bit of historical view, and I took this role over on August 1st. So, I don't have specific information. I wasn't maybe even here at that time, but looking back at it, I know when the national push started coming for the recruitment of officials and all of that. So I looked back, and in 2010, there were 9,940 officials registered with the WIAA. And because some officials register in multiple sports, we had over 16,000 registrations from those 9,900 people. We had 16,179 registrations. So then as recently as 2017, which is where I kind of looked back to, we were down at that point to 8823. So we lost about 1,100. And that's when people started talking about pushing, to get new officials, and talking a little bit about aging out of officials, that are officials who had joined, it all kind of joined in the same era, and they were, they're nearing retirement, and those who were retiring were not being replaced as quickly by new and young officials who are just starting in the game. And we need to constantly be replenishing for every official that retires. So from 2017 to 2019, those numbers went from 88 back to 90, almost 9,400. So, you saw, we didn't get back quite to the 99, but we got to, as I said, 9,400 officials. We stayed steady. In 2020, before the pandemic hit, we were at 9,250 for officials. And so we weren't seeing the crisis that some of the other states were already seeing, but we did know that the aging was coming and the retirements were coming and all of that. Well, then the pandemic hit, and we basically said, listen, if this doesn't seem like a year that you should be officiating, or that you've got your concerns about it, we understand, and we're going to keep you where you are, the level you are. If you choose not to license this year, there's going to be no repercussions to that. Because, officials, they can move up the chart each year by officiating a certain number of games and watching the rules video and taking the exam. We just told everybody we were going to hold them steady, whether they, they could go up a level if they decided, but they weren't going to lose anything by not officiating. We were at 7,818 officials for the 2021 season. So we lost, about 1,400 officials during that time. The question that we were mulling around was how many of them would come back? Would we bounce back? I mean, maybe there were some that were nearing retirement and would say, hey, I didn't miss it that much this year, or what have you, and then decide I'm just going to stay away. I'm not going to relicense. We did know that there would be, some of that happening. I think what we were not prepared for is the fact that, I know that some of those people came back, but we lost additional people. So instead of recovering between 9,250 and 7,800, we dropped dramatically to 6,071 from last season to this season. Now, I can tell you that I'm tracking these numbers month by month. And so my first month, August, we just finished that month yesterday. I looked at the numbers from the month of August, and there may be people that are out there that are waiting to see what's going to happen. Are the sports going to go forward as planned? And, do I want to register for the winter indoor sports? That's where a lot of our numbers are down. Or do I want to just wait and see what's going to happen here? So over the course of the last month, we've had 280 additional people register in 425 approximately different registrations. So taking a little bit of a jump. And I'm hoping that if each month we can get another 400 to 500 people come back, that we're not just decided not to register yet, then we can get a little bit of a boost over the next couple of months prior to the start of the winter sports. But has to be a real hard look at what's going on here. And there's been a lot of publicity about, the officials treated when they're working by fans and coaches and athletes and so on. I was actually here last night reading a lot of information about that, and it seems like the officials report that the highest percentage of maybe grief that they get while they're working comes from the fans and what they're calling parents, because they separated those two: parents, fans, coaches, athletes. And they say for the most part, the athletes, they can keep them in check, and that the athletes aren't the ones who get, really crazy with their attitudes and stuff out there. But and the coaches, even, they have some latitude, but short of kicking fans out of the games, which no official wants to do that, there's just not a way to keep that in check for them. So I know that that's part of it. It's just the culture out there at these games that is really toxic for the officials. And then, as I said, the retirement is pulling them away. And then, is this something that young kids are being enticed to get into? You hear about fathers who have officiated for years and their daughter or son then decide to license. They've grown up kind of in that life. That I think we see a lot of, but but we need some young people to become engaged and decide to take this on as a potential hobby.
There are people out there that say, I really enjoy sports. I don't think I know enough to be an official. So talk to those people, and then where do they go to get started?
Okay, so that's true. I mean, there's a lot of people get into officiating who either didn't play the sport, but maybe their kid played the sport. That's a big population. And a lot of those people come and then they go after their kids have graduated and so on. So if you have interest in sports, if you know people who have interest in sports, if you have friends who are officials, you don't have to have all the knowledge. You're expected to learn that information, but when you register, you go to the WIAA website. There's a tab that says it says officials. And then when you click on it, the very number one thing says become an official. And there's pages of information on how to do it. You can register online. And then as soon as you register, you choose the sport or sports that you want to be licensed in. You receive a rules book in that sport. And then, which you also can get an like an ebook, an app on your phone. You can have the book right there with you on your phone. And then you have to watch the rules video, which we put out each year in each sport. And then you have to take the rules exam, which is a 100-question exam from the NFHS. Now, does that mean you're ready to go out and officiate your first varsity match? No, heavens no. You need to understand all the hand signs and everything else that goes along with officiating, what the rules are. So there are officials associations all over the state. We have a list of those associations on our website. You can find one near you. Officials associations they actually educate the officials. They show videos and what you make the call, those types of things that are constantly improving our officials. And then they hold clinics as well. And you learn the classroom stuff, you're watched on the court, and you get guidance for how to be better. And then they put you in a category of what level maybe you could be officiating. And then they help you find places to officiate at that level. And that's a good way for us to identify who's moving quickly through the ranks so we can get them some better games and get them more opportunities.
just to see if this. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals lead 27-0 at halftime here in this Central Wisconsin Small Conference Showdown, as it has been all Assumption here through the first 24 minutes. A couple of long scoring drives. Kemp Ross was able to get the safety. Pittsville has turned it over 3 times, Assumption just once, and those 3 turnovers have resulted in scores for the Assumption Royals. Reed Dillman, 79-yard touchdown. Kate Stats had a receiving touchdown. Jack Klatt has looked very good again here tonight. He scored the first touchdown from 13 yards out. So, again, it's been all Assumption as they have looked very good here through the first 24 minutes. As mentioned, Columbus Catholic, some scores from around the Zaleski Sports Network here tonight. Columbus Catholic with a, I would assume, a win over the Owen Withy Blackhawks, if that game is still going on, and it is. They are at match point over in Marshfield. As the Amherst Falcons are up 11-10 on Iola Scandinavia in the second set. Amherst won the first set 26-24. Pacelli and Pittsville, we are having technical difficulties over in Stevens Point for that match. So we will not have that game live for you here tonight on Zaleski Sports. Pittsville will receive the ball to start the second half. Again, they have struggled offensively. Aiden Kohler has looked good at times, but after that drive where they turned it over deep in their own territory, it has been pretty seldom, I guess, that they have had a nice, long, sustaining drive. As we will be back underway here momentarily from Wisconsin Rapids, as Alex Sullivan will kick it away. North to south, left to right, as we get the second half underway. Alex Sullivan will do the honors, as he has all season, as he will continue here in 2021. And he'll kick it away. A looper there taken by Pittsville, and he'll be swallowed up along the far sideline. That's where Waylon Grimm and the Pittsville Panthers will start their next possession here from Wisconsin Rapids. Again, Pittsville has looked good at times. They've just struggled defensively when they have they've been down in distance. Assumption has looked pretty decent defensively as well. Aiden Kohler has been a sore in their side at times, but other than that, defensively they have looked very, very good. As Grimm is in the shotgun again. He's going to hand it off, try to the near side. He does. A lot of green, cuts back to the outside along the far sideline. He's going to be chased out of bounds near the 37-yard line and ran all that way for a 3-yard gain. So ran probably 25 yards for a 3-yard gain on the play. And second down coming up. And we'll see what kind of changes Coach Dewar and the Pittsville Panthers had at halftime. Protect the ball has got to be one of them. We'll see what Grimm and company can do. Ross comes from the outside. He came all the way back, and Aiden Kohler breaks a couple of tackles. Stood up there, and the whistle stops. The flag comes in. And it's going to be a hold on Pittsville, but Again, that was a nice job by Kemp Ross coming in on the blitz from the weak side and then going all the way down the line, making the stop or to clean up the mess for Assumption defensively. But Pittsville is going to march backwards on the holding penalty. .11:08 to go, third quarter, 27-0 Assumption. Royals will be at Rochelt next Friday. They'll host Webster on homecoming on October 9th. Pass across the middle as Alex Sullivan knocks it down. Nice job by Alex Sullivan there, just putting his arm up, and Grimm threw it right in to the arm of Alex Sullivan. As a lineman, that's what you're taught to do. If you can't get to the quarterback, put your arm up and see what might happen. And that time it worked out in Alex Sullivan's favor. 10:51 to go here in the third quarter. Third down and 19 yards to go. Ball on the 25-yard line. Again, post-game, we'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan. And if Assumption can hang on here, we'll have an opportunity to talk to a player of the game as well. Grimm rolls out to his right, looking to pass. Pressure is on, and it's going to be over the hands and over the head of his intended receiver, and his fourth down and long coming up. Assumption has had pressure on the punts so far here today, and the couple that Reed has let bounce, the one right near the end of the half, in my opinion anyway, and obviously I'm not a coach, don't have a say, but Reed has made a mistake a couple times. No pressure there, and a line drive punt there. That's one that Reed lets bounce and roll, and that's a smart decision there by Reed Dillman to let it roll near the 33-yard line. That's where Assumption will start their next possession with quarterback Jack Klatt. Hawkins Ash CPAs is a certified public accounting firm that is big enough to serve you but small enough to care. Accounting professionals in the firm's Marshfield office provide local tax and accounting services and are backed with the resources and support of 9 other offices and more than 150 team members. Contact Hawkins Ash CPAs in Marshfield for all your tax and accounting needs. Visit them online at hawkinsash.cpa to learn more today. See what Assumption could do on their opening drive here in the second half. Back to passes Klatt. He's got his receiver, and it's going to be hauled in. They're taken down near the 25-yard line, and Reed Dillman getting behind the defense. And Reed Dillman with another big gain for Assumption. And that time faked it to one and just let Reed run his 9 route and put it on the number for Reed Dillman. First down and 10, 10:15 to go, third quarter. Klatt's going to hand it up the middle, and Lieberg is going to be punished there. Nick over 1,000 yards last year. Really hasn't just gotten into his groove this year for Assumption. Thinking about that game back in DeSoto in week 1. Saw that DeSoto next year, again, surprising from what I read, from what I saw. They have made the playoffs 25 years in a row, but they are most likely going to be an 8-man football team next year. Are the DeSoto Pirates. Klatt's going to keep it himself. Pitch it out. No, he's going to keep it himself and get swallowed up. Maybe a loss of a yard. Tough decision there by Jack Klatt. Third down coming up for Assumption. They were low on numbers down in DeSoto this year, and with a good senior class graduating, numbers class, I should say, they're, from what I read, looking for 8-man opponents next season. So they will most likely not be coming up to Wisconsin Rapids next year for a non-conference game. Klatt going to... Ball's on the ground, going to be ripped out there and taken away by Pittsville. They call it a fumble, as that one was taken right out of the arms of Nick Lieberg and Jack Klatt. Klatt was trying to take it out of Lieberg's belly, and it was a turnover on Assumption. They're second here in the ball game. That's a tough, hard-nosed play there by Pittsville. 1st and 10 for the Panthers, and Royal jumped off sides. Gained 5 free yards. That's Gunnar Kraus with the offsides. As we have 8:55 to go here in the third quarter. Kraus jumps off sides and he gets replaced. Going to hand it up to Aiden Kohler up the middle. He's going to be taken down there by Stats. Near another first down, 2nd and about a yard to go for Pittsville. And Royals have made mistakes offensively at times, but they have looked very good as well. Pittsville's got a little mojo right now as they're going to pitch it out. Nice job there as Luther is going to be taken down. Ball's on the ground again. And we'll see who comes away with it. Ryan Shaw handed it to the official, and Assumption takes it over again. A late call on the fumble turnover, but Ryan Shaw handed it to the official, and and Assumption takes it over again. 6 turnovers here in the ball game. Assumption with the ball again deep in Pittsville territory. 4 turnovers for Pittsville, 2 for Assumption. Klatt back under center, pitches it out near side. Tries to get the corner, he does. And he's going to be chased out of bounds there. Nice run by Reed Dillman. And they're going to pick up enough for a first down. Another nice gainer there from Reed Dillman. Reed's having another nice night on the ground, receiving. Doing it all again for the Assumption Royals tonight. Klatt back under center. In motion is Stats. Going to hand it up to Lieberg up the middle. He's going to fall forward, fight through, still on his feet. And he's going to be taken down there. Another great gain inside the 15-yard line. Another Assumption first down. Nick Lieberg kept those legs rolling. And another big first down for the Royals with 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Got a couple of nice runs. Dillman got to the corner. Lieberg up the middle. We'll see what Coach Sullivan has in mind here. 1st and 10 at about the 14-yard line. Yep, false start on, I believe, Alex Sullivan it will be. Tight end. Sullivan just a little too antsy on that play. Tried to get to his linebacker position to block, or his spot to block a linebacker, and went a little too early. 1st and 15, 7.5 to go, third quarter here from Wisconsin Rapids. Get 8 more games for you tomorrow, 1 on Saturday. Head over to SeleskySports.com, weekly schedule. They're all posted right there. Klatt under center. Back to pass, Jack Klatt across, and diving attempt is incomplete. Again for Ryan Shaw, the second diving attempt by Shaw, and it's going to be a 2nd down and 15 for Assumption. Good pressure put on by Klatt again. Again, tough for Jack when there's not a lot going on. One wide receiver out on a route, and pressure in the face like that. 2nd down coming up for Assumption. They lead 27-0. Turnovers on back-to-back possessions, one for Assumption and one for Pittsville. And 4 fumbles, 2 interceptions. Going to hand it up to Dillman up the middle. Tries to break a tackle. He does. And he's going to be taken down near the original line of scrimmage. Going to be third down and about 8 coming up for the Royals. Waylon Grimm on the tackle. Third down and 8 coming up. Ball at the 12-yard line. And don't want to say it's 4 down territory. It might be. I mean, you're up 27-0. Don't want to, if you don't think you can pick up 8 yards on one play, get about half or 2/3 of it. Klatt under center, and he's going to roll out to his right, look for a receiver in the end zone. Caught! Ryan Shaw! A jumping catch for a touchdown, and the Assumption Royals lead 33-0. Nice pitch and catch there from Jack Klatt to Ryan Shaw. And Assumption's going for the single point, extra point, to go up 34-0. Dillman, the holder. High snap, gets through the hands of Reed Dillman. Mason Kubas picks it up. He's going to fall on it. And the point after touchdown is failed. 6:18 to go, third quarter. Assumption leads 33-0. You're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports.
When the last thing you need to happen does. One of our 16 mobile service trucks from Sherrill Tire and Service Center can keep you rolling and growing. Sherrill Tire and Service Center, your locally owned farm tire specialist.
Sherrill Tire and Service, keep growing and rolling with us.
Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
After this kickoff, we will go through our schedule for tomorrow night right here on Zaleski Sports. Get 8 more games for you tomorrow. As the Assumption Royals, again, taking advantage of points off of turnovers. And we'll talk to Coach Sullivan about that after the ball game. Jack Klatt getting the job done as well on the ground through the air. Has made a couple of mistakes with the interception and the fumble, but that's been about it. And he's taken a couple of sacks, but has played very, very well here tonight for Assumption. We're going to talk to Jack if they won the game on last week. They lost and was unable to. Picked up there along the near sidelines and still got his feet going up to about the Assumption 41-42 line. That was a good kickoff return for Pittsville. And Pittsville back in action next week as well, as they will take on Loyal. They'll host Loyal. They'll be at Wild Rose, and then they will host Iowa Scandinavia to round out the 2021 high school football season. Again, we're in week 6 already. After this one is over, we only got 3 left of the regular season. Assumption will be at Rosholt, host Webster, and then be at Loyal to finish it off. Grimm's going to roll out to his right. Still rolling, still looking. He's going to be swallowed up there, taken down in the backfield again. Great pursuit by the Assumption Royals. Going to be second down and a long way to go. Kemp Ross has had a very good night defensively. Sullivan in there as well, along with Nick Lieberg, Kemp Ross. And again, a whole host of Royals there for the tackle. Not quite second and 22, maybe second and 15 for Pittsville. Ball at the 46-yard line. Handed up the middle, and Kohler tries to get the outside. He does. He's going to be chased out of bounds near the 40-yard line. Another nice carry by Aiden Kohler. Aiden last week, 37 carries, 250 yards, and a couple of touchdowns in that big win over Rosholt, 18-14 at Rosholt. Assumption will be there next week. We'll have that game hopefully for you right here on Zaleski Sports. Third and 9 for Pittsville. Pressure up the middle immediately on the end around, and Assumption had a red. We'll see if he can get to the corner. He's going to run over a defender near the 35, but a good job by Assumption. It could have been a loss of about 10. But it's going to be fourth down and somewhat manageable now for Pittsville. They trail by 33 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Clock runs, the ball beyond the near hash. Fourth down and about 3 for Pittsville. Most likely probably trying to get Assumption to jump off sides. Assumption has been. And pressure up the middle. Grimm's going to roll out to his right, look for a receiver across the middle. It's going to be hauled in there, and it's going to be caught for a first down. Inside the 30-yard line. Nice throw, nice catch. Alexander Cum with the reception. First down at the Assumption 28-yard line. Again, all started off with a nice kickoff return. And a big play just there on third down and 9 on the reverse. Able to pick up 6, and then the pitch and catch for about 4 or 5. Pressure again, and Grimm ball's on the ground again, and Assumption comes up with it again. 5th turnover of the game for Pittsville. 4 fumbles and an interception. 5th turnover for Pittsville. And that is, again, more pressure on Grimm, and he couldn't get it away to Kohler. And it's going to be 1st and 10 for Assumption with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 33-0 Royals. Klatt back under center. Klatt's going to keep it pitched out far side. Stats tries to get the corner, and he's going to break a couple tackles and run out of bounds. A gain of a couple for Kate Stats. So tomorrow on Zaleski Sports, bring it up here for you. Wausau West is at Marshfield. That's Marshfield's homecoming. Wittenberg-Burnham will be at Stratford. Edgar will be at Hurley. Amherst will be at Marcus-Sand. That is a game that they found. Waiwega Fremont was not able to play, so they will head down to Marcus-Sand. Mosney is at Lakeland. Bangor is at Spencer Columbus. As Spencer Columbus was supposed to play Nakusa, they couldn't. Reed Dillman near side is going to be chased out of bounds past the 30. Third down coming up and a manageable 1.5 yards. So Spencer Columbus was supposed to host Nakusa tomorrow for homecoming, I believe. And Bangor somehow had a game. I believe they were supposed to play Royal, if that sounds right. And Royal was unable to play. So the number 1 team of Division 7, Bangor, heading up and playing the Spencer Columbus Rockets. That's going to be a team to watch, or a game to watch if you're a Division 7 football fan. And Pittsville jumps off sides, and it's a free first down for the Assumption Royals. Neelsville will be at Mondovi, and then a big showdown in Greenwood as the Newman Catholic Cardinals will head and take on the Greenwood Indians. How about that? Trevor's already got the lineup for next week set up here on ZaleskiSports.com weekly schedule. Sent it out today. Cade Stats up the middle, and he's going to fall past the 45-yard line for a gain of about 6. Second down and 4 coming up. Next week, again, don't look too far ahead, but we got a lot going on next week as well. Bowler Gresham will be at Amherst. Northland Lutheran will be at Columbus Catholic, both soccer games. And I'll be heading down to Sand Valley to take a look at the Columbus Catholic and Assumption girls tennis teams. Get you some highlights from girls tennis down about 20 miles from the homestead here in Wisconsin Rapids. Hand up the middle, Nick Lieberg, again fighting for another first down inside Pittsville territory with 2:50 to go in the third quarter. Next Tuesday, Marshfield will host a swimming meet. Auburndale will be at Assumption for volleyball. We'll have that game for you. Columbus Catholic will be at Neelsville. We'll take a look at Neelsville and Colby. That is a big matchup going on right now. Colby is at Greenwood for volleyball. Amherst is at Mosinee for soccer. And Allman Bancroft will be at Pittsville for volleyball. We'll have Pittsville volleyball Tuesday and Thursday next week. Hand up the middle. Bounces off a couple of defenders. Going to be stood up, pushed back. And the whistle blows. And Nick Lieberg, another nice carry there for Assumption with 2:15 to go and counting here in the third quarter. Next Thursday, DC Everest is at Marshfield for soccer. Wausau East is at Marshfield for volleyball. Assumption will be at Pittsville for volleyball. We'll have that game right here for you. And then another big matchup, Columbus Catholic at Colby volleyball for you as well. Again, we'll get that score of Neelsville-Colby girls volleyball for you in just a minute. Quick pass, and it's going to be incomplete. It looks like Klatt may have gotten his arm hit, and Sullivan was jammed at the line and did not work out well there for Assumption. Third down coming up, and 3 yards to go. Next Friday, we got about, I think I read 10 games, and then one on Saturday next week. We'll go through those in just a moment as well. A total of 11 football games for you next Friday night. And they almost got Pittsville jump off sides again. Klatt under center. Going to hand it up to Stats. He's got room to the left side. He's going to fall forward for another first down for Assumption at about the 36-yard line. So Assumption just bleeding this clock, and long methodical drives here for Assumption now, up 33-0. So next Friday, we've got Marshfield and Appleton West, Assumption at Rosholt, Stratford at Waiwega Fremont. Stanley Boyd will head to Neelsville, take on Neelsville Granton. Amherst will be at Nakusa. Right now they will be. On the end around again, Dillman to the corner, cuts back inside, first down and more, and Reed Dillman will go into the end zone. Assumption touchdown. Reed from 36 yards out, and Assumption leads 39-0. Again, that play has worked to perfection here a couple of times tonight for Assumption. Fake it a couple times, fake the pitch. Reed comes back to the middle, and he goes untouched into the end zone from 36 yards out. Point after touchdown coming for Mason Kubis. If Assumption can pull it off, good snap, good hold. It is up, and Mason puts it through the upright. No, wide left, pardon me. And it is no good. 1:19 to go here in the third quarter. Running clock the rest of the way when we get back to Wisconsin Rapids. You're watching Assumption Royal Football on Zaleski Sports.
Rustic Redefined is the area's boutique clothing store for women and children. You'll find a personalized shopping experience with unique and trendy styles to choose from. Rustic Redefined specializes in affordable clothes and accessories with red carpet service. Find your individual style at Rustic Redefined on 8th Street South in Wisconsin Rapids and Rustic Redefined on Facebook.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals lead 39-0 here tonight. As they look here now, they will have their second running clock of the season in their favor here in 2021. Again, we'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan and our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game. It will be Jack Klatt. Jack's had a very nice night here tonight, passing and running and being the orchestra of this Assumption offense. As Sullivan will line drive, Squibber going to be picked up there along the far sideline, going to be taken down, and Pittsville will start right there. Pittsville 5 turnovers here today, 4 fumbles, and an interception. Nobody enjoys being without comfort. Time to plan for the winter months ahead. Give the pros at Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling a call for furnace and AC service in Wisconsin Rapids. We'll be there rapidly to figure out and take care of the trouble, and we'll get the comfort working again rapidly. Call Rapids Sheet Metal Heating and Cooling at 715-301-0256 and visit online at rapidsheetmetal.com. So score from Colby in that game. Neilsville at triple match point against Colby. They are tied up at 2 sets apiece. So we'll see both Neilsville and Colby next week on the volleyball courts as Waylon Grimm will, not sure what exactly is going on. They're putting new pads on somebody. And they will take a delay of game or a timeout. Not sure exactly what was happening. It looked like somebody was putting new pads on or something. 4 seconds left here in the third quarter. And, yeah, we'll take a break. Why not? Back to Wisconsin Rapids after this.
Don't let pain or mobility issues keep you from enjoying life. Let our physical therapy doctors and our staff at Roberts Physical Therapy help you recover your ability to move easily and live free of aches and pains, providing effective individual treatment plans. Whether you're experiencing problems with balance and mobility, you're experiencing pain in your low back, or you're dealing with any other physical challenges, we'll take care of you. For more information on how we can service your needs, contact us today.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as they will, there's 4 seconds left in the quarter because they ran when the after the kickoff. So they took a timeout, clock stops. They will run one play before the fourth quarter starts as we near the 9 o'clock hour here in central Wisconsin. Grimm back under center. Assumption almost jumped off sides. They did not. Hands off to Kohler. He's going to bounce right, bounce left, bounce backwards, get taken down to start, or to end the third quarter, start the fourth quarter. 12 minutes to go. We will have a running clock the rest of the way here in Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals lead 39-0. You're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Why am I an orthopedic surgeon? It's a great question. It was nothing I planned. I actually am a Spanish major. Went back to school and became a physical therapist. That was okay, but I decided to go back to school and become the surgeon. I think the biggest thing when you're talking to the patient is if you can relate to them, number one. Number two is if you can teach them what the problem is. If you can teach them what the problem is, they're going to do fine. They're going to learn what it is, they're going to figure out how to fix it, and then they're going to adapt. There's days when things don't work out and things are harder than others, but clearly you're here for one reason and you're not here for you. You're here for the patient that comes in. Healthcare is kind of like going to the supper club in Wisconsin. You always feel like you need to travel to get a better Friday fish fry or to get the prime rib on Saturday, but really here we have everything under the same roof. We have everything within a hospital that, quite frankly, is rated in the top 2 hospitals in the state. for joint replacements. We have hospitals coming to us to ask how we do joint replacements, how we solve the problem, how we get patients motivated and moving with very low risk and very low complication rates. And our outcomes are much better.
.11:30 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Clock will continue to run. Grimm rolls out to his right. Pressure is on. Throws it in the ground. Spikes it in the ground. And a late flag comes in, as I believe Joey Moyer will be flagged for roughing the passer. And it will be 15 yards and an automatic first down for Pittsville. So didn't see it on the back end, but Grimm was rolling out to his right. Threw it. Spiked it into the ground. And then Joey Moyer will be flagged for a roughing the passer with 10:50 to go here in the fourth quarter and counting. Scores from around the network. Amherst is trailing Iola Scandinavia in the third set, 21-18. Amherst is up 2-0 in the set count. Columbus Catholic knocked off Owen Withey. Columbus Catholic also knocked off Amherst in soccer earlier today. I have highlights of all those games later on tonight on Facebook at Zaleski Sports. Bounces back to the inside is Kohler, and he's going to fall near the 38-yard line. And it's going to be second down coming up for Pittsville. Again, Assumption has looked very, very good here tonight, offensively, defensively, special teams, as they have put everything together. Again, that game against Pacelli was a blip on the radar, and it was here and gone, and it was as our good old buddy Jim Ross, a slobber knocking as Pacelli took it to Assumption that Friday night, September 10th. Back to pass, Grimm, pressure on, throws it up there, receiver, and overthrows him. It'll fall incomplete, third down coming up. Third down coming up here for Pittsville. They looked good last week. They just couldn't stop Parker Prohl and Isaiah Hoyer from Iola Scandinavia. Otherwise, they looked good. Offensively, scoring 34 points. Gave up 42, but put all the pieces together here tonight in a valiant 39 right now, nothing lead over Pittsville. And the two times that we've talked to Coach Sullivan here, they took down Auburndale, they took down Wild Rose. The purple, gold, and white has helped the Assumption Royals get some big wins here. Pitches to the outside. Luther's going to fall forward. Fourth down coming up for Assumption. Fourth down for Pittsville coming up. We will have Pittsville football for you next Friday. They will host Loyal. So as mentioned, next week, Marshfield, Appleton West, Assumption, Rochelle, Stratford, Waiwega, Stanley Boyd, Neelsville, Amherst, Nakusa, Rhinelander at Mosinee. That's going to be a huge game. Rhinelander, Mosinee, Pacelli at Iola for a conference championship. Greenwood is at Bowler Gresham. Manawa is at Spencer Columbus, and Loyal is at Pittsville. We'll also have Edgar Homecoming. They host Auburndale on Saturday afternoon. And now conversing, they stop the clock, and now they need a injury timeout, official timeout, with 8:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, don't forget, stick around for our Niceville Dairy post-game show. We'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan and Jack Klatt, as well as we put Jack in our Zaleski Sports Highlight House later on tonight. Grimm up the middle, and he's going to pick up the first down. Coach Sullivan unhappy on that carry by Grimm. First down with 7:35 to go. Pittsville trying to get on the board. Assumption just trying to put their foot down and not allow that to happen here in the last 7.5 minutes. First down, Pittsville. Their most sustained drive so far since their second one of the game. Or the first one of the game, I guess. They took it all the way down the field, and a couple of offensive linemen for Pittsville jumped. They'll march them back. Spectrum Benefit Solutions has offices located throughout central Wisconsin. Spectrum Benefit Solutions is your group benefits provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectrum Benefit Solutions works with hundreds of clients of all sizes to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectrum Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started today. Pittsville with 6:40 to go, 1st and 15. 5 turnovers for Pittsville, 2 for Assumption here tonight. Grimm back to pass. Rolling out to his left. He's going to be taken down there, and a big loss again for Assumption. Or excuse me, for Pittsville. Kate Stats on the sack. Second down and a mile coming up here with 6:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Bryson Drollinger into the game for the first time. 66 for Assumption. 6'2", 180. And he's going to keep it himself as Grimm trying to bounce back. He's going to go nowhere. Stood up, push forward, push back. And Grimm gets taken down. Again, Aiden Kohler not having a good night. Now the ball must have come loose. It was recovered by Pittsville. 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd and 27 they're going to give him. Get up to the line quickly is Pittsville. Back to pass is Grimm. And throws it up there. Has a receiver. And it's going to be incomplete. And there's going to be a penalty in the end zone. Pass interference that's going to be called on Joseph Johnson. So it's in high school, not a spot penalty. 3rd down and 2. So instead of a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line like the NFL is, a spot foul, it's going to be 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Joseph Johnson was there, but just a little too early, too aggressive. 3rd down coming up with 4:15 to go. Back to pass, looking again, and that one's going to be through the hands and incomplete. Ryan Shaw almost had an interception. That would have for sure been a pick 6 for Shaw. 4th down coming up. It should be 4th down. So it was 3rd down and 17 on the on the pass interference. They pushed him up 3rd down and 2. It should be a Pittsville ball, 4th down and 2 yards to go. And our friend Paul Jaglinski getting it all right with the officials, getting everybody squared away. There's been about a minute and a half that's gone off the clock, though, during this confusion. 4th down and 2 with 3:15 to go here in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, if you haven't been out here to Wood Trust Bank Field, Southwood County Stadium, the new one came into the stadium today, got the track done, put down lines on the track finally, and he handed up, and a 1st down and more. Going to fall forward. Feet are still moving, and a 1st down for Pittsville near the 12-yard line. 2:50 to go. Assumption trying to hold that shutout intact. Pittsville not wanting to get shut out by a rival like Assumption. Again, these two teams did not play last year. They were supposed to in week 1. That game got canceled. They were supposed to play in the somewhat playoffs, I guess you could say. the broken playoffs last year. Pittsville canceled that game. Pitch it to the near side, bounces inside. He's going to be taken down there. Nice defensive play, I believe, by Joey Moyer, getting down the ground and making Aiden Kohler jump back into the middle of the line. And it did not go anywhere. Again, it's Alex Hoffman on the tackle, but it's tough with a team like Assumption when you're up by 39 points and you want to get some substitutes in, but you only got 8 guys on the sidelines. You can't really take out your starters. Grimm rolls out to his left, still looking. He's just going to toss it in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Assumption with their 6th takeaway of the game, and that will do it here tonight from Wisconsin Rapids. 6 turnovers in favor of the Assumption Royals. Man, oh man, what a defensive game it has been here tonight for Assumption. 6 turnovers for Assumption. 6 takeaways, I should say, for Assumption. 2 turnovers for Assumption offensively. There have been 8. 6 plus 2, 8. I'm not good at math, but that equals 8. 8 turnovers here combined tonight. 6 of them in favor, or 6 takeaways in favor of the Assumption Royals. 2 interceptions, 4 fumbles. And our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Jack Klatt, will run it out here for the Assumption Royals tonight. He'll take the snap, he'll kneel down, and that should do it here tonight from Wisconsin Rapids. The Assumption Royals 39 and the Pittsville Panthers nothing. Stay tuned for our Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily at nasonvilledairy.com. We'll go down on the field, have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan and our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Jack Klatt. Back to Wood Trust Bank Field, Southwood County Stadium. Right after this, you're watching Assumption Royal football on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, nasonvilledairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflettieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda, Edam, and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
You ready, Hannah? Good? All right. Welcome back to Wisconsin Rapids as the Assumption Royals knock off Pittsville here tonight in shutout fashion. Coach, it wasn't just a 0 on the board, 6 turnovers, 6 takeaways defensively. Just talk about the defensive effort tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Les, part of the deal, his birthday today, so we had to get a W for him, and the icing on the cake, per se, was the shutout. So, yeah, our defense showed up, played really well. I thought really everybody did a great job on that and held them. I don't know what they held yards-wise and things like that, but, I mean, you keep them out of the end zone, you're doing some things right, so I'm excited to see.
Offensively clicking right away. I mean, Jack had a touchdown run to start, doing Reed things offensively and special team-wise. Just talk about the last week you lost, but scored 34 points, 39 more here tonight. Just talk about the offense.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is clicking there as far as that goes. A few little hiccups there. You know, they're blitzing, and I didn't really want to throw the ball when, you know, at the end there in second half too much, obviously. But, you know, that opened up and you could have thrown the ball some more there. But it is what it is. You know, I'm bullheaded there. If they're going to get 10 in the box, I'm going to try to run the ball as best we can, and we did. And yeah, proud of the boys. Really proud of them.
Hard to believe. I mean, next week's already week 7, heading to Rochelt. Just talk about, obviously, towards the end of the year, Rochelt, Webster, and Loyal to end the year. Just talk about what you think and this team can do it round out the year.
Yeah, I mean, if they do their jobs and do what we're supposed to do, I mean, it's 1 week at a time, and hopefully it's 1 win at a time.
Perfect. All right, Coach. We'll see you next week. Thanks. If you could bring Jack over when he's done. All right. We'll bring over our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Jack Klatt, in just a moment here on Zaleski Sports. You're watching the Naisville Dairy post-game show here on Zaleski Sports. The Assumption Royals shutting out the Pittsville Panthers here tonight, 39-0, as they will have Rochelt next week. They'll host Webster for Assumption's homecoming on October 9th, and then they will be at Loyal to round out the season. A good chance to run the field and get into the playoffs on a hot note as we bring our Zaleski Sports Player of the Game, Jack Klatt. Obviously another big win here tonight, Jack. Got the job done offensively. Had a couple of turnovers, but defensively 6 takeaways. How much does that help you offensively to get into a rhythm as well?
Yeah, I mean, like I said over there, the takeaways just gave us momentum, and our offense, we knew we had to deliver tonight, and I mean, we came out on top. That's all we can ask for. So,
kind of surprising early on. Coach just mentioned it. They put a lot of guys in the box, 10, 8, 9, 10 in the box at a time. Really able to take advantage, throwing the ball. Had Ryan open a couple times. Reed doing Reed things, of course. But just talk about being able to air it out a little bit more tonight.
So it was. I mean, we haven't done it in the past weeks, and we knew that we had to get some momentum here. We weren't going to underestimate these guys. So, I mean, throwing the ball to Ryan's a great receiver. Reed, he can outrun any guy. I mean, fastest guy in the conference. So we just decided to put more pressure on the defense and air it out a little bit. So
talked a little bit about it on the broadcast and with Coach. You guys lost obviously last week, but put up 34 points last week, 39 more tonight. Just talk about the rhythm that this offense is in.
So, yeah, I mean, we wanted that game bad. We came out and we tried our hardest, but Iola is a well-coached team. But otherwise, we work hard in practice on our offense, and we push each other. And, I mean, like you said, we got the 3-headed monster in the backfield, so that helps. And our guys up front, I mean, they do their jobs better than anybody. So. And
just talk about, obviously, only 3 games. Crazy to think, only 3 regular season games left. Going to Rochelt, host Webster, and then you head to Loyal. What can this team do? Obviously, with 3 games left, what do you guys think you guys can accomplish down the road?
So I think that we're going to be we're not letting off the gas at all. We're going to be prepared for Rochelt. We're going to be prepared for Webster, and like you said, Loyal. And, I mean, we're going to come into the playoffs with that humble and hungry attitude. So.
Perfect. All right, Jack, we're going to put you in the house, all right?
Gotcha.
Can I hand you this?
Yeah.
Going to take this. See Hannah up there.
Got her.
I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. Say your name and say I'm in the house, all right? 3, 2, 1.
I'm Jack Klott, and I'm in the house.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
See you next week.
Of course.
All right. That is the Assumption Royal quarterback, Jack Klott. We're going to finish things up here in Wisconsin Rapids. The Assumption Royals shutout fashion, 39-0 over the Pittsville Panthers here tonight. They improved to 3-3 overall. They are now 2-2 in the conference. They will be at Rochelle next week. We'll have that game right here on Zaleski Sports. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll have highlights of this game tonight on Facebook. We have 8 more football games for you tomorrow. Check out ZaleskiSports.com on the weekly schedule. Again, for Hannah, this is Steve May signing off from Wisconsin Rapids. The Royals 39 and the Pittsville Panthers 0. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll talk to you again somewhere tomorrow on Zaleski Sports.